Hello viewers, today in this part of the program we will discuss about the nucleic acids. Nucleic acids are the polynucleotides or they are made up of multiple units of the nucleotides. There are two types of nucleic acids, DNA and RNA. DNA is called the deoxyribonucleic acid while the RNA is called the ribose nucleic acids. DNA is the repositors and transmitter of genetic information, that is every reactions in the cell is controlled by the DNA. RNA is synthesized from the DNA by the process of transcription and involved in the protein synthesis. Viewers, in this unit we will learn about the structural formula of pyrimidine and purines, nucleosides and nucleotides as well as Watson and Crick model of DNAs. How we can define the nucleic acids or what are the nucleic acids? As we know, the nucleic acid, that is DNA and RNA, are the molecular repositories for genetic information and are jointly referred to as the molecules of heredity. The structure of every protein and ultimately of every cell constituent is a product of information programmed into the nucleotide sequence of a cell's nucleic acids. That means, the every process of the cells, every constituent of the cell is governed by the nucleic acid, that is by the DNA or RNA. Nucleic acids, there are two kind of nucleic acids, DNA, deoxyribonucleic acids, RNA, ribose nucleic acids. Both types of nucleic acids are present in all plant and animals. Viruses also contain nucleic acids. However, unlike a plant or animal, a virus has either RNA or DNA, but not both. Means DNA and RNA are present in plant and animal cells, but the exception is virus. It may have either DNA or RNA, but not both. DNA is found mainly in the chromatin of the cell nucleus, whereas most of the RNA is present in the cell cytoplasm and little in the nucleolus. As we know that DNA is the carrier of genetic information, it is mainly present in the nucleus, in the chromatin network and carried out a genetic information, while the ribonucleic acid RNAs are present in the cell cytoplasm and they are involved in the protein synthesis. These are the structure of a nucleic acids. As we can see in the structure, there are three components that are required for the nucleic acid synthesis. One is the nitrogen bases. You can see that in the form of A, U, C and G. A represent the nitrogen base adenine, U and T represent the nitrogen base uridine and thymine, C represent the cytosine and G represent the guanine nitrogen base. In case of DNA, the ribose sugar is deoxyribose sugar, while in case of RNA, the sugar is ribose sugar. And the phosphate group is attached to the 5 position of the deoxyribose sugar and ribose sugar. That means, one nucleotide is bind to the other nucleotides by the 3 phosphodiester phosphate bond to the 5 oxygen atom of the another nucleotides. We can see the structural component of DNA and RNA. The components, that is acid, the phosphoric acid is present in both ribonucleic acid as well as deoxyribonucleic acids. Pentose sugar is also present in ribonucleic acid and deoxyribose nucleic acids. In case of ribonucleic acids, the pentose sugar is D-ribose, while in case of deoxyribonucleic acids, the pentose sugar is 2-deoxyribose. Nitrogen bases present in RNA are adenine and guanine. Similarly, in DNA, the purine bases present in DNA is adenine and guanine, while pyrimidine differs in DNA and RNA. In case of RNA, in place of thymine, uracil is present, that is pyrimidine bases present in RNA are cytosine and uracil, while in case of DNA, pyrimidine bases present is cytosine and thymine. Pyrimidine and purines are the two important nitrogen bases that are present in the nucleic acid, that is both in DNA and RNA. In order to understand the structure and properties of DNA and RNA, we need to look at their structural component. We begin with certain heterocyclic aromatic compound called pyrimidines and purines. So, in order to understand the structure of DNA and RNA, we must know about the purines and pyrimidines bases, and these are the heterocyclic aromatic compounds. Pyrimidines and purines are the name of the parent compounds of two types of nitrogen containing heterocyclic aromatic compounds, and we can see the structure of pyrimidines and structure of purines. In case of purine, an extra heterocyclic rings are also present. The important pyrimidines that occurs in DNA are cytosine and thymine, while the cytosil and uracil are the pyrimidines present in RNA. DNA have the thymine and cytosine, while the RNA have the uracil and cytosil pyrimidine bases. The important purines that are present in the both DNA and RNA are the adenine and guanine. We can see the structure of adenine and guanine. Now, what are the nucleosides? The nucleosides are the compound in which nitrogen bases, it may be purines and pyrimidines, are conjugate to the pentose sugar, it may be ribose or deoxyribose by a beta glycosidic linkase. The nucleosides are composed of nitrogen base pentose sugar. In case of DNA, the pentose sugar is deoxyribose sugar, while in RNA the pentose sugar is ribose sugars, and both these pyrimidine and purines are attached to the sugar at the 5 positions of the sugars by the beta glycosidic linkage. The beta glycosidic linkage involves the C1 of sugars and the hydrogen atom of N9 in case of purines and N1 in case of pyrimidine, thus eliminating a molecule of waters. So, the nucleotides are made up of nitrogen bases, it may be either pyrimidines and purines and the pentose sugar. The pyrimidine bases that are attached to the sugar with the carbon atom number 1 of sugars and the hydrogen atom number 1 in case of pyrimidines, while in case of purines the 9th position of the atoms are attached with the carbon 1 position of the sugar molecules. These are the structure of uridine and adenosines. Uridine and adenosines are the pyrimidine and purine nucleosides respectively of D-ribofuranose. In case of structure of uridine, the nitrogen base uracil is present and make a glycosidic linkage between the carbon 1 of the sugar and N1 of the nitrogen bases uracil. While in case of adenosine, the adenine base makes a glycosidic link between the carbon 1 of the sugar and carbon atom number 9 of the adenine. Now, nucleotides. Nucleotides are the phosphoric acid esters of nucleosides. When a phosphoric group is attached to the nucleosides, then a nucleotide is formed. These nucleotides either occur in the free form or they may be present as subunit in the nucleic acids. These are the adenosine 5' monophosphate. It is a nucleotide. It may present in the free form and it is also called as 5' adenylic acids. We can see the structure of adenylic acids in which the phosphate group is attached to the 5th position of the sugar, while the nitrogen base is attached with the carbon 1 of the sugar molecules. This is the structure of adenosine diphosphate. In adenosine diphosphate, a additional phosphoric group is attached to the previously present phosphoric group. This is the structure of adenosine triphosphate. It is also called as the ATP and it is the most abundant source of energy. In this compound, additional phosphate group is attached to the ADP and it forms the ATP. Nucleic acids, as we show that nucleic acids are polymeric nucleotides or they are also called as polynucleotides. These one nucleotides is bind to the other nucleotides, that is the 5' oxygen of one nucleotide is linked to the 3' oxygen of another nucleotides. We can see the section of polynucleotide chain and we can see that one nucleotide of a polynucleotide chain is bind with another nucleotides by the 3' of one nucleotides to the 5' oxygen of another nucleotides. Watson and Crick proposed the double helix DNA structure. Irwin Chargaff from Columbia University studied DNAs from various sources and analyzed the distribution of purines and pyrimidines in them. The distribution of these bases adenine, guanine, thymine and cytokinins varied among species. That means different species have the different amount of purines and pyrimidine bases, but the total purines and the total pyrimidines were always equals. Although the species varied in their amount, but the amount of pyrimidine bases will also be equal to the purine bases. That means A always be equal to the percentage of thymine and percentage of guanine will always be equal to the percentage of cytosine. This structure shows the base pairing. Watson and Crick proposed that A and T were equal because of complementary hydrogen bonding. That means in a DNA structure, the amount of adenine will always be equal to the amount of thymine. That means if A will always be equal to the T and this is due to the hydrogen bonding between the corresponding bases. Similarly, the amount of G and C were equal because of the complementary hydrogen bonding. It means the nucleotide or the DNA will have the equal amount of G and C in the DNA structure. The DNA duplex. Watson and Crick proposed a double stranded structure for DNA in which a purine and pyrimidine bases in one chain is hydrogen bonded to its complementary in the other. It means adenine base will always bind with the thymine base and cytosine, that is the purine base, will always bind with the guanine into the other nucleotide chain. Yes, this structure shows the corresponding base pairing between the two polynucleotide chain and the two antiparallel strands of DNA are paired by hydrogen bonds between purines and pyrimidine bases. As we can see in the diagram that C will always have the complementary base pairing with the guanine. Similarly, thymine will always have the complementary base pairing with adenine, and we can see that the thymine and adenines are bonded by the two hydrogen bonds, while the cytosine and guanines are bonded by the 3 hydrogen bonds. This is the double helical structure of DNA proposed by the Watson and Crick, and the characteristics feature of this double helical structure of DNA is that the strands run antiparallel. The DNA helical structure contains the two polynucleotide chain, and these chains run antiparallel, that if one chain runs in 5 prime to 3 prime position, the another chain run in 3 prime to 5 prime position. The diameter of the helix is 20 angstrom wide, that means the space between the two strands is about 20 angstrom. There are about 10 base pairs per turn of the helix, that means each turn of the helix have 10 base pairs or 10 nucleotides. One turn of the helix is 34 angstrom and the base pair are 3.4 angstrom apart. The distance between the base pairs are 3.5 angstrom. So, one turn of the helix is 34 angstrom, and as we know that in each turn there are about 10 nucleotides. So, the distance between the two nucleotides is 3.4 angstrom. So, the end of this session we have discussed about the nucleic acids, DNA and RNA. DNA are the depositors and molecules of genetic information, that is the every reactions occurs in the cell is controlled by the DNA. RNA are mostly present in the cytoplasm and involved in the process of protein synthesis. We have discussed about the structure of DNA and RNA, what component they had, and also studied the Watson and Crick model of DNA structure. I hope you enjoy the lectures. Thank you.